who becomes the Lord Mayor of Leeds recently. So, His Majesty.
Thank you very much. Please, you may have to speak. Thank you. I want to thank the leadership and the organizers of this event for this honor, this award. I actually wasn't going to say anything. I was just going to smile and accept the award. But some slick talking South African decided to go strong in the direction of a sleeping giant. And on behalf of all Nigerians, I say we are fully awake now. So you can expect some rumbling and trembling on the continent. But I listened to what you said about Madiba. And a couple of weeks ago, I was actually listening to a podcast about what he really suffered. And when you spoke about him not being able to bury his son, and obviously how important of how heavy of a sacrifice that was for him. The podcast was talking about how prison changed him. He was a very violent man, obviously, but he came out a changed man. And a lot of people felt betrayed by him when he came out because he was refined in prison. And they were on the outside still saying we must take it by force. So he comes out and now says peace is the way. And a lot of them were very hurt by that, most especially his wife. And then when they did the Truth and Reconciliation Committee, and a pound of flesh was taken from him when it was insisted that his wife would have to, as First Lady, answer questions. And the podcast was talking about how this really tore at him and it effectively cost him his marriage, effectively. And I thought, wow, that's a lot. I did not know this about his son. And yet this man is one of the examples of what it is to be a good leader, a true leader, a selfless leader. And it just brought me to my point about imagery. Image, examples, it's everything. And something went through my mind. I was actually having a conversation with someone in the hotel before we came here, and we were talking about how something we have not done well. We're staying in a hotel that used to be the old war office. So you feel the history when you're there, you feel it. And I was saying to him, this is something we haven't done well in Africa. We have not documented. We haven't. And it's not that we do not have the content that they have in the West. We have just as much content, but we have not done well to document. And while we were walking here, we drove to the other end, Baroness, thinking it's the same entrance we went through last year. Fortunately, there was a diversion and we had to come in through the Great Hall, I suppose. I don't know what the exact term is. And there we are walking on through history. Yeah. And it is marked. And I was saying, I think I said it to the hearing of my wife and the chiefs. We need to do better documenting and telling our own stories in Africa. I know there is a lot that has held us back in Africa a lot. And I want to, I won't say I want to, I have stopped blaming outsiders for what has held Africa back. We can go through a very long list of what outsiders have done and have enshrined that has kept Africa back. But we are the ones who will liberate ourselves from these things that have held us back. And just to personalize it, I was thinking to myself, seeing, oh, King George laid in state here, Queen Elizabeth laid in state here, and all that, just glancing as I was walking. And I thought to myself, there's a lot we have in Africa that we call tradition, that does not allow us rediscover and reinvent. Tradition is good, and sometimes the secrecy around it serves a purpose to protect it so that it does not become trivialized or commonized. But there is a lot of self-reflecting, soul-searching that has to happen. And when we have done that and we've now decided this is how we want to go forward, there is no media propaganda, there is no false imagery that will be telling the African man this is how you should be doing it, that is going to keep us back. It's just not going to happen. And on a lighter note, I tell some people when I am really relaxed that oftentimes I feel like a mascot. But the thing about that mascot is, for somebody who spends a lot of his time in America, when you see your mascot, the team mascot comes out, it energizes you, it inspires you, it makes you come alive. And so I always wonder, yes, I am not a mascot, but for those who may just want to feel like, oh, this African king has lost his relevance, and like, wait, the way I appear today, which I know is reinvigorating my base at home and beyond the Shekiri people, but it also comes down to how do I see myself? So I am going to be a light that is going to shine, to inspire every Shekiri man, every Nigerian, every African, so that they can look and say, that man is a king. That is how I should carry myself. Yeah. That is how I should see myself. And so, I will bring this unplanned speech to an end. I know this fine South African gentleman will be coming to Nigeria later on, so consider that our scores are settled, otherwise you would have had a very interesting welcome when you go to Nigeria. So I want to thank the organizers and congratulations to all the recipients as well. We are the ones that are going to change this African continent. It's us. It's us. And all the dreams and ideas that we all have in this room that we may feel, who is going to fund it, how is it going to come to pass, keep dreaming it, keep refining it. It will. There will be connections that will make it happen. There will be doors that will be opened. And in no time, for all of you who are into media, Netflix, they are always looking for new content. They're now rushing to Africa. Let's get new stories and new content. This is the time for you to bring out what you have been sitting on. And God will perfect it all. Thank you.
Can I please ask, if you are not an official AA photographer, I want people to leave this space. We can see, I think we need to respect people. You can see people behind. They are here to witness this event.